How y'all doing today? This Sports Talk with Chase. I'm here with my guest, Kyle.
Hey, what's going on?
Today we're going to be talking about a couple different things. Wilson Chandler's banned from the NBA, Kobe and Shaq's feud. We also got Andrew Luck retiring at age 29. Jay-Z's partnership with the NFL. That's a huge thing going on. And the main point of the podcast will be our talking about college athletes not getting a true education while they're at their respective schools. So, let's kind of start off with something simple, quick. Kyle, let's talk about the Wilson Chandler ban. Now, if you don't know too much about it, he's basically taking performance-enhancing drugs, and he tested positive. So now he's on, I want to say a 25-game ban from the league. You think that's fair? Unfair? What do you think?
I mean, I can understand why the league will want to ban him, basically to make a point to other athletes that, performing enhancing drugs shouldn't be allowed. But the way I look at it from a fan point of view, so if we go to a basketball game and, we want to go there to be entertained, right? So
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's kind of like if these players are taking performance enhancing drugs, I want to see them do the greatest thing possible and something outrageous. You get what I'm saying? If it's not to the point where it's harming their physical body, which is a decision that they choose to make, I think it personally should be allowed, only depending on the effect that it has on a person's body. Like I said, I have to talk from a fan point, because that's the only point I can talk from, because if I'm not an athlete, I can't speak on how it makes their body feel or whatever. But from a fan point of view, I want to see something outrageous. If I'm paying $100 and something for a game, if I go to a baseball game, I want to see him hit the ball to the next local Walmart, or I want to see somebody dunk from half. I want to be entertained. I want to see them do something crazy. And most of the time, a lot of the enhancing drugs is not even anything that's making them do anything extra crazy anyway.
True.
It's just, stuff to, maybe keep their endurance going more.
He is up there.
Right, yeah, you know what 30. I'm saying? So I think it really all depends on what's the use of the drug being used for. So, I mean, like I said, though, it goes both ways, because the league, wants to make a point that stuff like that is not allowed. But from a fan point of view, I think that I want to see something outrageous. So.
I don't know if I can necessarily agree with that. I get what you're saying from a fan point of view. You want to see something outrageous. And you want to see, I don't know if Wilson Chandler is that many people's favorite player. Right. But you want to see your player perform at the highest level.
Right.
Understandable. Mm-hmm. But to me, I see it as it puts an advantage on something when other people aren't using it. You get what I'm saying? He's using something to give himself an advantage over others. So say the people at his age who aren't doing that aren't going to behave the same way that he is on the court.
Right.
So, I mean, I can see what you're saying, but it just creates an unfairness.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why, like I said, too, it really depends on what he's doing. Some people, I forgot the football player, he was trying to have he was trying to have a baby or something like that. And the stuff that he was using, they categorized that under enhancement drug, and he actually got suspended a couple games for it. Even if somebody's getting hurt, you know what I'm saying? If LeBron James get hurt and he's taking a drug to make the process of him heal faster, so he can perform for the fans and make the arena money, but they categorize it under enhanced drug because he's just trying to,
get back in the game.
Get back in the game more better than. That's why I say I really think it depends on what is the drug and what is it being used for. Now, if we talk about somebody that's pumping roids to crack the ball further than everybody, all right, I understand. You get what I'm saying? So I think it's categorized. What is the PED? Exactly. Okay. I think what's the level we talking about?
Okay, so, I can understand that. So I know you seen the little Kobe and Shaq feud. Not even on Twitter. Kobe had a little special going on where he talked about it, and then it kind of went to Twitter where Shaq responded, and Kobe basically said that, for those that didn't see it or hear about it, that if Shaq would have kind of worked harder, they could have had 12 rings and it went undefeated damn near.
Right.
But I guess Shaq, to me, it didn't seem serious. They weren't really going at each other. It was kind of all love, and there wasn't no disrespect. Mm-hmm. But I guess their two work ethics kind of collided on that. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What do you think about it?
I think when Kobe said that Kobe has to look at a view. First of all, Kobe work ethic is crazy, which everybody knows of. So, for him to say that if Shaq would have worked harder, they could have won, 12 more rings or whatever. I mean, that's his opinion. That's not a fact. You get what I'm saying? And then you have to look at the angle of Shaq of, maybe he felt like he worked the hardest to his potential. I know, like, he even mentioned, like, getting a statue comes from working hard. Because, Shaq has a statue or whatever like that.
He does have that statue.
Yeah, so I guess Kobe just, kind of looking at it from one point of view. But then, at the same time, Kobe played with Shaq, so he kind of knows Shaq's, tendencies and what he lacks on, or maybe seeing what he could improve on. Because everybody could always improve on doing more.
Absolutely.
Or something, so...
I don't know if you ever saw the actual special they had together. But I think what Kobe was talking about was when... I can't really remember what year, but they came to training camp and Shaq was extremely overweight. You actually may remember the season. You saw him. He was big. He was really big.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what Kobe was getting at. It was kind of like, maybe if he had stayed in actual shape,
right,
they really could have done more than what they did. Not saying they didn't do anything. I mean, come on now. Well, they both got like 6 rings.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now. You can't complain about that. But maybe if he would have done more, they could have done the unthinkable.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I see Kobe's point of view of it, and I see Shaq's point of view. It's just one of them things where it's always going to be a what if. Or
what if, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? At this point, it doesn't really matter. They both great players and did what they did, and...
So yeah, like you said, it's if Shaq would have had the same work ethic as Kobe, it would have been different. Even Kobe said that he probably would have been the greatest of all time with that same work ethic that Kobe had if Shaq would have had it.
Right.
So, gonna get into a real hot topic now, big topic going on in the sports world. Jay-Z partnering up with the NFL. Now, this is really interesting, and me personally, I'm with Jay-Z on this because the change needs to happen, and I think he's the right person to bring us to that change. Had the meeting at the Rock Nation building, and it was all him. He's partnering with them to bring awareness to these issues that Kaepernick, when he knelt, brought attention to as well. And I think at this point, we need to get past the kneeling and understand that something needs to be done now. And I'm hearing a lot of people getting mad at Jay-Z for partnering with them because they feel as though he's a scapegoat or he's just doing it for the money, which the money, that doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, he's a billionaire. What money could the NFL possibly give him that he doesn't have already? I feel like he's doing it for the right reasons. And he's a person that has, his track record shows that he does things for his people. He does things for social justice and to move things further. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Jay-Z was the right person to do it. I couldn't think of anybody else that is like well respected as far as being respected as a musician and as a business person at the same time. So, I know like a lot of people that's been commenting on it that's close to Jay-Z say, like Jay-Z's all about himself, he's all about the money. But like you said, he is a billionaire already. So it kind of like, how much more money can he really make? Like he can already, right? You know what I'm saying? So I think that his intentions is pretty clear. But just trying to make a change, just like he did with anything else that he tried to do, even with starting Tidal or any other business thing, jumping in, trying to own like half the Nets and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think that it's a real good look for change. And, being that he's the one to step up and be the front runner to do it is a great thing. And, at this point, we basically have to see what changes, though. And,
exactly.
And, so if something does change, then, it's a great thing. If nothing really changed and we see that, maybe it's showing something that maybe it is just for the money or what. I don't know. I guess time will just tell.
Time will tell you. I don't think he's doing it purely for the money. I think his intentions and his heart is in the right place. Even I don't know if you heard him talk during the interview, but he even he sounded sincere in what he was saying. Like it's really time for us to stop focusing on the kneeling and focus on getting Kaepernick a job back because it's more than that. We're talking about black and brown people or people of color in general just being persecuted and mistreated.
Mm.
That's what the whole picture is about. It's not about him having a job.
Right.
It's about creating change.
Right.
And I think that's what Jay-Z is moving towards. And I think that's great. So yeah, I was actually listening to the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God and hearing him talk about it. And I agree with a lot of what he said about how Hov is really trying to make a change.
Yeah.
And I feel like people are kind of overthinking it. And it's what's crazy to me is how quickly we as black people can be divided so quickly just by one man trying to sit at the table with another man and talk about something. Mm-hmm. It's just crazy how quickly the division happens. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Like you said, if something good comes out of it, that's great. Hopefully nothing bad comes out or nothing comes out of it at all.
Right.
So now we're going to talk about the main topic of this podcast, which is something that I've seen firsthand myself and I find very interesting, and it's actually kind of sad. So, as you know, a lot of college athletes go to D1 schools, Ivy League schools pretty much, and don't really get a true education out of it. It's more like they're focused on the sport, and that's all they do. Mm-hmm. Now, me personally, I don't think that's fair to them at all. Because, and that's, it's not fair for a couple reasons. Because one, that spot that they're taking up could have been used by somebody that actually wants to do the academic. Right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. The academic part of it. Yeah. And on top of that, as coaches and professors, they shouldn't be okay with just having somebody in there not doing anything mm-hmm. and not getting their worth out of being in that school. Like, these are great schools. Like, I've seen it at Rutgers, you know, and you can talk about all the other schools. I'm not going to mention any names, but I had a college athlete in my class that one of the projects was we all had to get up in front of the class and talk about music in some way. Mm-hmm. Like give a demonstration of it or something. And I never really saw him in class. I saw him here and there. He never did any of the projects, never did any of the work. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's fair to the athlete at all. Because what happens if they don't get picked up? What happens if they get hurt? Mm-hmm. Now you spent a year or 4 years just playing a sport and not getting the education. So now you come out of the school with nothing to show for it. Right. I don't think that's right. Right. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, I think that the college, the student definitely should take advantage of the education since they're there. But I think, like, you know, if the coaches or, you know, people pressure him to, you know, leave earlier and don't worry so much about the education or something, at the end of the day, that student has to step up and say, like, you know, I want to stay here and get my full blown education because this basketball thing might not work out for me. So I think it comes to the student just, you know, realizing and being smart about what he has going on and taking full advantage of everything. And, you know, even the people around him, you know, putting him in the right spot to, you know, to tell him to take a full advantage of the education. Because once you blow your knee or something like that, you're nothing to them anymore. It's on to the next person. It's on to the next person, exactly. And now you're stuck. You didn't take advantage of the education and getting, you know, everything you could have learned out of the college. So I think most of the time it comes to the student just, you know, being smart about, you know, the option that he takes and the route that he takes. So.
Absolutely. And like you said about those outside influences, like, you know, coaches not really telling them to focus on their academics, right, and more or less telling them to just focus on being an athlete, you know. Right. And don't get me wrong, being a student athlete's difficult. You know, you got to wake up in the morning and you got to do drills and you got to be here, you got to be there, then you got to go to class. It's difficult. Yeah. But my whole thing is, though, there should be a way to fit in them getting an actual education, right, and not just coming out of there with nothing. Right. Because if you are the star player on your team or any sort of player that they see potential that you'll probably go to the league, I guarantee you probably not going to be in class that much.
No, you're not at all.
You're not going to be learning anything like that.
They worry about at the end of the day, everything comes back to money. The coach, he gets right. He's going to get something for getting you into the league. The team is going to get something because you're entertaining the fans because you're the superstar player, and everything's just comes back down to money. So sometimes you got to just ask yourself, like, is it really worth it at the end of the day? You know, so like I said, that just goes back to the student though, and where his mindset is. I mean, some players it worked out great for them. They skipped the education,
and
the league making millions.
Yep.
And some people, it didn't work out, and now they didn't take advantage of education. So, I mean, it's just like a gamble. Is it a gamble you willing to take? And just know the consequences that's going to come with it.
I'm glad you brought that up about players who just run, like, kind of get away from the education. Mm-hmm. Terrence Ferguson of Oklahoma City Thunder. Mm-hmm. He went from high school straight to Australia. Didn't touch any college. And got picked up in the league. Now, the issue is now he's been in the league for about a year or two. If he doesn't show any promise soon, now I don't know if he's smart or not. I can't say that. Mm-hmm. But I know he doesn't have a college degree or really any college credits from what I know.
So he has to bank on basketball.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So and I mean, he's looking okay. There's potential, but if he doesn't pick it up soon, like you said, it's always on to the next one. Mm-hmm. If he don't pick it up, it could be on to the next one. He could find himself. I mean, I'm pretty sure he could play in the G League or something like that. You know, make it overseas.
Hopefully, he's spending his money
exactly
that he is getting now wisely,
and hopefully you don't get hurt.
Right.
Because then once you get hurt, you're left with nothing because it's on to the next one. Mm-hmm. That'll be about it for this podcast. Tune in next week to hear what else we got to say. Boog, thanks for being here, man.
Appreciate it. Appreciate being here.
We'll see y'all next week.